So leader, in my opinion, first of all, he should have a very clear vision, okay, as to where he would like to take his organization. Another thing I talked about, or I personally believe, like one has to be very, very strong in time management. And when I talk about the time management, like I'm very much influenced by this book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And I'm really proud to say that, like all the team members who work with me today, in the from the earlier company, they are working at a very senior positions in HR.
Right.
And all of them have grown. Most of them have grown, I would say.
Great morning, audience. Rather, great afternoon today. This is the second heart-to-heart conversation today on this beautiful Sunday. Some moments are very special in life, especially when a student gets the opportunity to host a mentor, guru, and teacher. It's always a great experience. And it's such a pleasure for me to be hosting Shirish Kulkarni, sir. Anybody who is in the field of HR, who has got even distant connection with the field of HR, employee relations, and anything to do with multinationals and corporates in Pune, outside Pune, in Maharashtra, even outside Maharashtra, knows Shirish, sir. And I recall I had met him first time more than a decade ago when it was some CII HR forum where I met him along with Mr. Sunil Kode, sir. So Shirish, sir, has been a mentor not only for me but for many people. And Shiri sir, it's a pleasure for me to welcome you to this heart-to-heart conversation. Thank you so much for sparing your Sunday hour. And once again, a hearty welcome to you. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining,
you,
for
thank you.
accepting
It's
my
so
invitation.
yeah, thank you, Arun. And it's so nice of you actually of having thought of such a conversation. And it's really a great initiative which you have been taking. So which allows people to share their experiences, like over a period of time.
Thank you so
So
much,
the
sir. Thank
pleasure
you
is
so much, sir.
equally mine, Arun. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir. Shiri sir, I recall I had come to meet you, and I'm pretty sure that I was not the only person who might have come to meet you because many people from Pune must be coming to meet you looking for advice and solutions over last more than a decade or so. And it's such a pleasure, I think, for me to think of those moments when with one of my colleagues I had come to meet you. I still recall we wanted to talk to somebody senior, and I had this colleague of mine, Kiran Kumar Chaudhary. He's currently in Piaggio. And I asked Kiran, can you
Yeah,
recommend somebody to me? I mean, so that we can go and talk to the person. He said, sir, I still recall his body language. He said, sir, Shirish Kulkarni, sir, सर एकदम बेस्ट है सर जस्ट चलिए सर बात करते हैं बहुत अच्छा लगेगा द वे ही सेड आई न्यू दैट I always know by now that the best referral that we can have is not the one which we find on social media. It is when somebody without while being away from social media tells you that sir it's Arun sir चलिए मिलते हैं श्री सर से श्री sir, I think thank you so much once again. And audience, let me share something about Shirish Kulkarni sir. Shirish Kulkarni sir started his career in 1984 as a deputy manager personally in Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, and then he moved on to Bosch, which is one of the well-known multinationals. It has got a factory and office in Pune. Then sir moved on to Sandvik Asia, which is another very well-known multinational, and these are known as some of the most foundational multinationals in Pune. And of course, these are coming from other countries. And then Sir joined Philips India Limited, where he worked for a couple of years. Then he moved on to Escape India, which is another multinational. I'm speaking from Pune, from a place called Walker. Escape's office is very close to this place, so I'm thinking of Escape. And sir, I'm pretty sure that you must have worked with many leaders. I recall when once I had gone to meet you in your office. I still remember that office as one of the most peaceful, calmest office which I had seen. I still recall having gone to meet you along with Kiran Kumar Chaudhary, and then we had gone to your office. I recall having asked a question to you, and I just asked you, sir, how many times you have to be in touch with the managing director or top leadership because you are heading HR, and we said that once in 15 days, Arun. there is a formal presentation, formal time, 1 hour, once in 15 days. I go and talk to him, make the presentation, and apart from that, it's all going well, and I take care of my team. I was super impressed because I have seen many HR professionals who will keep on jumping into the office. Sorry to use this word, jumping into the office of leadership team or MDs 5 times a day. And I knew that day that I'm talking to somebody who has got absolute full control on things, and things are happening so smoothly that, it's all going in a manner that it should actually go. And I was telling Kiran also while being on the journey back. So coming to leadership, we are talking about leadership. Which are those few qualities which you think a leader should have? It could be HR leader, it could be any leadership in general. Yeah.
Right, right, right. So, leader, in my opinion, first of all, he should have a very clear vision, okay, as to where he would like to take his organization. I mean, may it be the company as a whole, or like if you're talking about HR, the HR leader should have that clear vision as to
Right,
where
sir.
is that, like you would like to take your team, your organization. So the vision and clarity is absolutely important. I would say that. The second important trait or quality of a leader, I would say, is the excellent communication skills. I mean, there's no second opinion about it. I mean, one, the leader has to have the excellent communication skills, because
Mhm.
what leaders does is like, okay, he not only he thinks about the strategy, he communicates the strategy, or he sells the strategy to the
Yeah.
people, get the people involved in the execution of the strategy. And
Mm.
in this process, one has to communicate quite a lot, not only keeping people informed, but motivating people, giving the feedback. And there are so
Right,
many
sir.
things one needs to communicate, and therefore the excellent communication skills is absolutely important.
Right.
Then another thing is like the decisiveness, okay, I would say.
Mm.
I mean, leaders should not keep his people, like waiting for the decisions, I would say. Okay. I mean, I understand that, okay, it will take some time, to think over and take a decision, but it should not be
Yeah.
too, because why people come to the leader? The leader, they come to the leader for advice, for the, and finally for the decision. Of course, the leader has
Mm.
help people, or leaders should help the people to find out the solutions by themselves, or to help them take a decision. But still, I mean, the decisiveness is very, very important.
Very important.
Right. And
Mm.
empowerment and delegation, I would say. You spoke about I meeting the managing director once in 15 days or so. It talks about nothing but the empowerment, right?
Mm. Mm.
So
Mm.
if you are empowered, say if you are empowering your people, then definitely, not only, I mean, the empowerment will not happen overnight. I mean, you need to develop your
Yeah.
people. Okay, you need to coach your people. You need to bring them to that particular level, and then you need to empower them. But empower, because a lot of people, believe, a lot of leaders believe in micromanaging, and
Yeah.
it really puts up the people. And therefore, the empowerment and delegation is also very, very important trait, or the quality the leader should have, or leader should practice.
Mm-hmm. No, this is very powerful, very, very effectively said, sir. So,
And last
what?
but not the
Yes, sir.
least, integrity. Okay. I
Integrity.
mean, there's no compromise on that particular factor, because
Absolutely.
the team should trust the leader. Not only
Mm-hmm.
all the colleagues also should trust the leader, and therefore the integrity is very, very important. Yeah,
This is very powerful, sir. Very powerfully said, very effectively said. Sir, in the world of today, when we are seeing many people who are joining the field of HR, and now it's a different world. Different means people are heavily on social media and keep on checking a lot of things, and the attention span has gone down. And
correct.
all the qualities which you spoke about, including the quality of making right decisions, including the quality of communication, including the quality of empowering people, all these qualities need a lot of self-reflection, a lot of action, a lot of hard work. It's all about a lot of self-renewal.
Certainly,
When I
certainly.
wrote this, this is, I think you might have seen, so we are connected on social media. So when I wrote
Yes,
this book,
yes,
one key aspect of this book is first to lead oneself. First, we lead ourselves, and then we can lead other people. Would you like to give some advice to the current? Would you like to share some nuggets of wisdom, sir, as how the people who are joining the field of HR today can actually become a great leader? Because the qualities which you spoke about are they need something to be built. Yeah, to build. Yeah.
certainly, certainly. As you said, Arun, I mean, there's no substitute to hard work. And HR is really hard work, I would say, over a period of time. It's not a question of like you keep working hard for a period of 6 months or a year. It has to be consistently done. Okay.
Yeah.
So having said that, I will come to few of the things actually which the HR professionals who are aspiring to make a long-term career in the field should
Right,
look
sir.
for. First and foremost is like understanding the business. Okay,
Mm,
which is very, very important, because unless
mm,
you understand the business, you will not be in a position to contribute to the business from the HR point of view, right? So once you understand the business and business strategy, for the period of next 3 years or 5 years or 7 years, then you need to prepare the HR strategy, of course, in consultation with the leadership team and
right, sir.
also in consultation with the HR team. And for that, understanding the business like is absolutely important. And when I say understanding the business, understanding the products, how it sells, okay, what are the key strengths of the business. So this all understanding the business would definitely help you to prepare the HR strategy and those kind of
Mm,
deliverables. Another thing I
mm,
talked about, or I personally believe, like one has to be very, very strong in time management. And when I talk
mm.
about the time management, like I'm very much influenced by this book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Okay.
People.
And I have been one of the trainers, like
Okay.
for this program. And
Wow.
yeah, and then like three of us in my previous company, we used to conduct this training for a period of 3 days. And my personal favorite topic was, like first things first. That's the habit of time management.
Right.
So
Prioritization.
yeah. So when
Mm,
you work with any company, like or whatever level you work at, I mean, you need to be absolutely master the art of time management, and one
mm,
has to start cultivating that, or one has to start developing that right from the beginning. So this
mm,
is
mm,
an
mm,
important thing, I would say. Uh,
mm,
Again, you're talking about the youngsters, the HR professionals, or like any field for that matter. Having the healthy lifestyle, that's very, very important, because HR is a very taxing field, very challenging field, and if one has to survive over a period of time, like something like 35, 40 years or so, one has to have the healthy lifestyle. Absolutely.
yeah.
And definitely, I mean, I believe in enjoying, but at the same time, like one should have the focus on the healthy lifestyle.
Mm,
Uh,
mm, mm.
okay. Uh, the other thing, like I would say, like cultivate the growth mindset, and uh, one should leave the comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
One should always leave the comfort zone. Uh,
Yeah.
like, because like once you start doing a particular job, or once you start working in a company, like after 3 4 years, you get so comfortable because you know the people, you know the issues, you know the problems, and so on. And therefore, like when it comes to doing the different things or challenging yourself, it really doesn't help. It doesn't mean that okay, you need to change the company. You can look at the different jobs in the same company. So
Mm,
cultivating that growth mindset is also very, very important, right?
mm, mm, mm. Very true. Very true.
Yeah,
So one of the, I think very insightfully said, sir, because some of the words which you have spoken about are at the crux of success, including time management and including being the, of course, time management is related to discipline, the art of
correct, correct,
discipline, being
correct.
on
Yeah,
time a little before time and focusing on the things rather than spending too much time while being in the cafeteria and all that. It's very important. It all comes from prioritization.
correct.
And I'm so happy to note that you have been a faculty yourself on this topic. I'm pretty sure now more companies can get benefited, sir.
Yeah,
This 3 days program, which you said is very important. So another thing you spoke about growth mindset, and I know for sure that I think people know that growth mindset is also about learning from failures, taking actions, taking decisions. It's also about taking some risk. Now, in the field of HR, it's a very sensitive area. And I know HR professionals who came and they wanted to change the world and all that. It also needs time management, a lot of wisdom. One has to be very mature, also is very important. Would you like to share something on how HR professionals can still take risk and still see that things go well, inverted comma? because so many people are looking for so many things. And I think what you said is understanding the business is very important. That's the correct. So anything on that, sir?
Well, I mean, I would, I would like to share an incident actually, which
Right,
happened
sir.
back. Spoke about taking the risk, which is very, very important. And like in all my career, I've been taking the risk actually, and I've seen like my leaders and mentors also have been taking the risk sort of.
Right, sir.
So this incident took place some years ago, actually, when I was working with Sandvik. I can take the name of the company.
Yeah.
I worked there for 6 years, and so Sandvik was known for like a very volatile industrialization scenario during that period. I'm talking about the period around 2000. Okay. Uh, and people would come to know that the industrial area started when they see the red flags at Sandvik. Okay, so
Mm.
so 6 months out of a year there used to be red flags. So I'll just share the incident. uh, one fine morning, we saw something like 100 contract labor working in canteen and housekeeping and the other areas,
Yeah.
sitting outside the factory and gate. And
Right.
all of a sudden they declared the strike. Okay. uh, so we didn't know like how to react and all that, because those days the canteen services were provided on the shop floor, including the tea and snacks, with, so,
Mm-hmm.
so we were literally taken aback as to like how do we react to this situation.
Mm.
And I was the industrial relations manager. Those time we used to have those kind of titles. And okay, so I was the industrial relations manager. And first thing it came to my mind, like, okay, let me go and talk to these people. Okay. So
Mm.
I went and talked to these people, and but they refused. There was a new union leader who was leading this contract labor, and he said, no, nothing doing. Unless you make us permanent, I mean, we are not going to come inside the factory.
Right.
So I said, okay, that's not going to happen. I said, give me some time, we'll find some solution. But he was not budging.
Yeah.
Okay, then the next immediate problem was like, how do we, provide the canteen services to the people?
Yeah.
Uh, right. So then I called the meeting of the union. So it will take just about 5 minutes to narrate this incident. So I just wanted to.
Please, sir. It's very, very important. Very insightful.
Okay, so then I called the meeting of the union. It was an internal union, but a very, very strong union, very strong union. And then they said nothing doing. I mean, as per the terms and conditions of the service, you need to provide the canteen service on the shop floor. And I mean, we want the. So I took
Mm.
this and saying that, okay, nothing doing. So you will have to come to the canteen and, avail the canteen services also. And then again, there'll be a limited menu and all that, I told them. So they said nothing doing. And they filed the case against the company in the industrial court. Okay.
Okay.
That, there is a section 9A of the ID Act, as per which you need to give the notice of the change. And the company has not given the notice of change, and therefore, it has breached the ID Act, and therefore, the company should be directed to, follow the condition of service act.
Okay.
And the industrial court ruled in the favor of the union. Okay. Uh, and then, okay, still we had no option, but then we, challenged the industrial court order in the High Court, and we filed a writ petition.
Yeah.
Okay. So we filed a writ petition. And in that writ petition, it so happened that, I mean, I still remember I like here at a local level, I was interacting with Advocate R.Y. Joshi. You must have heard
Mm.
of, a very reputed person. I learned quite a lot from him. And then he only had suggested Advocate Kama in the High Court.
Mm.
When we met Advocate Kama, he just listened to us for 5-10 minutes, and he said, okay, I mean, you come on the date of the hearing. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are not knowing as to, like, what to, I mean, whether he has understood the whole thing also. But when he went to the High Court, on the date of the hearing, he asked a simple question to the union lawyer. Okay. Asking him like, okay, you are saying, okay, the conditions of the service are adversely affected. So how long does people how long people do need to walk to the canteen?
Hmm.
As per my understanding, it's not more than 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
And then union leader had sorry, the union lawyer had no answer. He started looking at the union leaders, but they were not seen in the fact in the courtroom. Okay. And the like the judgment came in our favor. Okay. And then like we started taking further actions and things like that. But in this process, like I had to communicate with the top leadership. I had to talk to my colleagues, convince them on our action plan, right, interacting with the lawyer, uh, and like getting everyone along in the whole process. It took almost about a month or so. uh, there were quite a few criminal elements amongst those contract labor. I mean, there were personal threats and all of that. But what I'm saying is like taking the risk, taking the going to the spot, taking the risk, and like carrying it through. It is very, very important, and I can quote many such incidents, maybe at the latter part of the conversation.
I think it's very insightful experience which you shared, sir. Because what I've seen is that when things happen in the manner that you narrated, especially in the initial phase, I think for HR, IR professionals, it becomes very tough because
Right. Sure.
everybody will start looking at them. Oh, this
Sure.
person does not know how to do. I think
Okay.
you are not in the right. You do not know to hang out things.
Sure.
What is your suggestion to HR, young HR professionals, to how to keep their calm when and before actually they come to the stage of development when the lawyer is asked a question and things will start changing? So that initial phase of toughness and testing period, any suggestions from your side, sir?
Again, here I would say like one has to be very, very strong in the domain knowledge. Okay. So one has to be very strong in like the labor laws, and like particularly when we are talking about dealing with the IR situation, and of course when we are dealing with the HR situations, we need to be very strong in the other part as such.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so this is one thing I would say. Another thing also I remember, like when you spoke about like who are the inspiring people. Like my manager in Sandvik, right? Uh, unfortunately, he's no more. But then like he used to insist that like whenever you're going to lawyer, you should be fully prepared, right?
Hmm.
So what, like if you're giving a charge sheet to someone, then you should draft the charge sheet, and you should come to such a proficiency level wherein the lawyer is not required to make a single change. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, or for that matter, like whenever you're drafting any legal document, or the writ petition, let's say in the high court, or if you're submitting a written statement, like whatever, I mean, you try first. So I used to get a little bit upset at the beginning. I said, why? I mean, we have lawyers for that, and then why is that we need to spend time on that? But then, later part of the career, I realized as to how important it was. Like, sort of.
Hmm.
Uh,
Wow.
so I would say that like okay, we have like whenever we work with the professional organizations, we have the
Yeah.
lawyers, we have the advisors, we have the consultants. But then you should know, like what exactly needs to be done, and what solution you have in mind. Should be very close to what your consultant would suggest or what your lawyer would suggest.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Very, very insightful, very deep thing. I think I see two things here. First thing is that there is a mentor who wants nothing but the best from the mentee.
Right.
And there is a mentee who is ready to do the hard work, because I'm pretty sure it must have taken lots and lots of sleepless nights, late night working, early morning, waking up and all that. I can really imagine it must have gone happened. And I think what I've seen, sir, is that of course I'm a student of the field of how to actually make it better and bigger and successful. What I've seen is that be it success in any field, be it any field we're talking about, it all comes down to basics: mentoring, hard work, and
Right.
setting very high expectations. Because the very fact that your boy, your mentor wants you to and the team to draft a letter in legal language in such a manner that even RY Joshi kind of people can make a change. I can well imagine. I think I always tell people that secrets kuch aisa zyada hai nahi. It's not that too many secrets are there. Basically, these are just at the core of it, and I think what you're saying is summing it up. Amazing, sir. I went through your profile on LinkedIn and I saw that there are just a few pictures, but even in those pictures, I didn't see your picture. I think I knew that I'm going to talk to a leader who actually puts the team first, and I'm going to share some of these pictures, and it's very clear. In a world where HR people want to be right in the front, and so it happens. Oh,
Right.
shallowness chalta nahi, it's all about deep work,
Right.
listening, and acting and working hard. And in one of the posts, you have spoken about the topic of, yeah, and of course, I'm going to share this while editing the video. Establishing a strong and effective HR team. Now we are coming to the field of HR
Yeah.
is fundamental to the overall success and growth of any organization. And of course, in between, you can also have a couple of more insights as to real life experiences in the field of IR also. A well structured HR department not only aligns with the organizational objectives, but also nurtures a positive workplace culture. This is a snapshot from the post made
Right.
by.
Right.
This article suggests key strategies and steps to build a resilient HR team that can adapt. I think every word is so powerful to build a resilient HR team. And I think we saw a couple of examples of resilience while
Right.
you narrated the story, the real experience. That can adapt to changing needs, effectively support employees, and contribute significantly to the organization's advancement. And then we have attached a two-pager, which of course I'll put the link while editing the video.
Right.
It's important. Would you like to talk a bit about how to build an effective HR team, sir? Now we are talking about how to build a strong HR team
Sure.
from a
Sure.
mentor,
Sure.
yeah, like you.
Certainly. I mean, that's the subject very close to my heart, I would say. And I'm really proud to say that, like all the team members who work with me today, from the earlier company, they are working at a very senior positions in HR.
Right,
And all of them have grown. Most of them have grown, I would say. So building the HR team is absolutely important when you start working as a HR leader for a particular company. Now it all starts with like understanding the organization. Again, I would say understanding the organization. The organization may be a manufacturing organization, it could be a sales
yeah,
organization, it could be a service organization, or it could be a combination of all three. Like for
right,
example, last company I worked, we had three companies, right? And three companies, and then something like eight manufacturing units and 16 sales offices spread across the country. All in all, almost about 4,000 people, okay, working in this organization. Now, what kind of HR team you need to build? Should you do you focus, or do you concentrate everything in the corporate office, or do you take the HR to the locations to the actual people, right?
mm-hmm.
So what kind of HR you would like to have, right? Uh, Now, if we look at building the HR team, we need to look at what the organization expects you to deliver from the HR point of view. So
Right,
this
sir.
needs a very heart-to-heart conversation with the managing director of the company, and also your colleagues in the management team
Yeah,
as to what all they would expect. So generally, like the expectations from HR team or the HR are like, if you look at first of all, attracting and retaining talent, right? That is the first and foremost, because unless you have the talent and unless you retain the talent, the organization will not be in a position to deliver. Competency development, building and maintaining the culture of engagement. You should have the
right,
engaged
sir.
workplace. Leadership development, of course, all this is important. So when you look at, and of course, last but not the least, building the productive work culture as such.
Right.
So any managing director, like if you talk to, I mean, he would more or less narrate, like these are the expectations what he would have from the HR team. Now, when you have the manufacturing locations and the sales locations, attracting and retaining the talent, or like if you talk about the leadership development, you need
Yeah,
you need to ensure that all your HR activities reach up to the last person in the organization, and therefore you need to build the team accordingly. So you need to have the experts in the industrial relations, you need to have the experts in talent management, you need to have the experts in the leadership development, and all of that. Okay. So first of all, making the designing the HR organization, that is very important.
Mm.
And when you know join a company like which has been running for something like 50 years, overnight you cannot change the HR organization. So like the existing
Mm.
people also like have their own strengths, right? And therefore you need to look at what are the competencies needed, what competencies the existing people have, are they rightly placed in the organization, or
Yeah.
can they perform better if they are moved to some different role and all that. Okay, so you align the organization first in the process. Like if required, you can hire some new people as well. Then another thing is like okay, defining the HR strategy for the organization and taking your team along. Okay,
Mm.
so what is that you would like to do in next 3 years, next 5 years, next 1 year? Okay, what is your clear plan? And this strategy you need to prepare along with your HR team. You have to take them into confidence. Rather, they should come with the suggestions and all. Another important thing is like one has to have a very good connect with the team, right? And when I say good connect with the team, I'll tell you like what kind of communication structure we had. I mean, the I'll talk about the communication structure in the organization as a whole later, but
Mm.
structure in the HR department as such. So once in a month we used to have the the meeting of the HR managers, right?
Mm.
Reviewing the KRAs or the KPIs actually, which are set for the year and all that. Right? Then one meeting for the HR managers, one meeting for the plant HR managers, specifically
Mm.
discussing about the plant issues.
Wow.
Okay, this is once in a month. Again, once in a month, we used to have the meeting of the entire HR team.
Mm.
I mean,
Both
like
coming
all
together.
the concerned HR managers or the location HR managers and also the corporate HR managers will share as to what has been done or what has been achieved in the last month. Like in the
Mm-hmm.
areas. This is a kind of a information sharing, right?
Right. Right.
Okay. Then another part is like I used to have one-to-one discussions with every HR manager, like once in a month, huh?
Yeah.
uh, without any agenda, without any topic. That's such.
Mm.
Okay, so
Wow.
it's a free-flowing discussion, like whatever he wants to suggest or whatever he wants to talk about, he can talk about, right? Then we
Wow.
had the specific development plan for all the HR managers, right? Not only all the
Mm.
HR managers, but the entire HR team as such. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this continuous connect is very, very important. Another thing like which really helped to build a good team or like in the initial period, we looked at the HR policies of the company and then we said,
Mm.
okay, we need some changes. Okay. Making the change to the HR policy is not easy in any company
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
it may involve the financial implication or it may not involve the financial implications,
Yeah.
but it has to ensure the buy-in of all the people. Okay, right from
Mm.
sector to your colleagues to your employees and all that. So
Mm.
I gave a task to like our HR managers to and the team members to prepare the to suggest the changes to the policies and prepare new policies how they
Okay.
would like to have. And once they make the policy, like we used to discuss in the team, and then
Mm.
we used to suggest, we used to present it to the management team, and so on. So basically, the continuous connect with the team is very, very important. Then you need to
Mm-hmm.
ensure their development as well. You need to give them the growth opportunities. Like I said, I mean, we had something like 8 manufacturing locations. So and there were roles in the corporate also. Uh,
Mm.
so I always used to ask like my team members, okay, which other job you would like to do after 2 years?
Mm.
So I
Mm.
personally believe that they should not be in one job for more than 2 to 3 years.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So
Wow. So important.
unless there are like very serious location constraints. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that means what? I mean, you need to leave your comfort zone and get into the new things, and that only will accelerate your learning, right?
Wow.
And I'm really proud to say, like last organization where I work, out of something like 12 managers I had, uh, eh, 9 of them are grown from within. Actually, they joined us as the management trainee, and then they rose to become the manager. So,
Wow. Such a such a big thing. I think in the last few minutes, sir, I think 5 to 6 minutes, the way you explained the details of communication strategy so simply and so impactfully. I think if people just rewind this video, and that's what I'm going to request to audience, if you can just pause, rewind, and listen to last 5 to 6 minutes once again. I think you don't have to read any other book on how to build a strong team, because the way Sir said is absolutely at the core of it. It's not only having business oriented meetings, it's also about having one to one, that just tea over tea and coffee, so that we can actually get their feelings, their happiness, and their whatever, whether they are not very happy, or they have got some queries or something, heart to heart conversations which we spoke about. And also I connect this with what Sir said in the beginning, time management, because I know some people who would be making some communication strategy, if not exactly as robust as the one Sir spoke about, as robust as the one which Sir followed. But even if they make something which is maybe 25% of what you just expressed, they are not able to keep it beyond 2 or 3 months time. Pura josh rehta hai, them lot of excitement, and then they will have meeting. They will tell people that okay, we are going to have this program, we are going to have monthly meetings, and after 1 or 2 months time, maybe 3 months time, when the initial euphoria has kind of waned, they are not able to continue because of the issue of time management, which Sir spoke about right in the beginning. And I think it's something which we all have to reflect on. Time management is important, because as we decide to have a communication strategy, every month something new will keep on coming. So it's important for us to actually keep us glued to the most important priorities, including communication plan, which Sir spoke about. Thank you so much, sir. You narrated
because
it so well.
few more things on this. When we talk about the communication and when we talk about all such things, actually. So maintaining the calendar is absolutely important. This is, like what I learned while working in a German company for last so many years.
Mm.
Uh, so here, like if you want to meet anyone in the organization, you need to send a proper calendar invite. Okay, which is absolutely must. So even if I have to meet the managing director, uh, you know, like uh, uh, going through his secretary is okay, but then sending the calendar invite is must. Or even if he wants to have the meeting with his management team, he needs to plan something like 15 days in advance, because like the there's a tremendous respect for everyone's time, right?
Yeah.
And therefore, like
Yeah.
we used to block the calendars of the all the HR managers, all the HR teams, like for the period of 1 year almost. For example, like
Mm.
every first Wednesday of the meeting, there'll be Wednesday of the month, they'll be meeting with the HR managers, right? Something like that. And therefore, like we used to have clear. And once that time gets blocked, you really then need to talk to the person like who has invited you if you want to cancel that or postpone that meeting. So that is something actually which is really like has gone so much deep in us that we just can't think of not having the calendars sort of.
Mm. Very, very powerful. Very powerful, because Sir said something which is very powerful. I think, including everything which Sir shared, that we have got to have tremendous respect for others' time. We have got to have tremendous respect for others' time. And I think what I have seen in my career in life is that those people who used to just hang around on others' workstations and they used to just jump in, were the ones who never respected even their time.
Correct,
Because if we respect your time, you'll respect others' time, and that's something which we
correct,
can get
correct,
while
correct,
listening to you, sir.
correct, correct.
And I think the world will change. Social media will come, Facebook and all this will keep on happening, but the secrets of success will not change at all.
Right.
And I think one of the secrets is to be disciplined, to have the time management, to have the prioritization. I think what you spoke about, this book, Seven has Habits of Highly Successful, Effective People, Leaders of People. I think this is nailing it. Very, 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 very nice, sir. Thank you so much. I'm feeling so happy that that you accepted my invitation, because it's something very important for people to appreciate. Sir, let's talk a bit about some other HR processes. Like, people talk a lot about succession planning, they talk about employee engagement. And still, I have seen most of the organizations will just, even if they are working something on succession planning, they will just keep it as a piece of paper which has got some list of people, names, and all that. and still nothing is being done to develop these people so that they become actually successor. Would you like to share something on this, sir?
Certainly, certainly. I mean, this is another topic which is really close to my heart.
Yes.
And here again, like now, whatever I will share, like this is what we have practiced in the company for last almost about 15, 16 years. And even in the earlier companies also used to practice. Now, when we talk about this succession planning, it's not, like looking around and saying, okay, this guy will fit in this role or this guy will fit in this role. No, it's not like that. It's again a very serious work. So it all starts with defining the leadership competencies in your company. Okay, so you need to define the competency framework, leadership competency framework. So what kind of competencies you want your leaders to have, right? And based on that competency framework, you need to have your performance evaluation every year, right? The leadership, I'm talking about the managers. When we're talking about the
Yeah.
succession planning, okay, fine. I mean, I'll start with the manager succession planning first. So you need to have the performance evaluation. I'll try to make it short. Uh, so one after the performance evaluation is done, you get
Right,
the
sir.
result. Some people, like are performing, above expectation. They're exceeding the
Yeah.
expectation. Some people are just meeting the expectation. Some people are not meeting the expectations, and so on. Okay,
Yeah.
then you have those typical bell curves and all that.
Right.
So after the performance evaluation exercise is done, then you need to look at the you need to put all your people in what we used to call as the staff portfolio. Okay, so like you have the other portfolio, you have this your staff portfolio also. It's nothing but the performance and potential matrix.
Ah, 9 box.
Yeah, yeah, we used
Yeah.
to have 4 boxes. Okay,
5 box. Yeah, good enough. Yeah. Yeah.
we used to have 4 boxes.
Very nice.
So in one box, you have the people who are high on performance. They're consistently performing over a period of time, and they
Right.
also have the potential, right,
Wow.
to take over the higher jobs. In the other box, you have the people like where your people are performing very well over a period of time. However,
Yeah.
they have the limited potential.
Mm.
Okay, and again, like in the other boxes, you have
Right.
people are not performing and all that. Okay, so we'll not
Right.
discuss about those boxes, but these 2 boxes.
Right.
Then okay, now this is what is based on the evaluation of a manager, right? Who's evaluating the performance. But that is not sufficient. And therefore, then we used to have the meetings uh, with and the participants for the meetings were like the managing director, the HR head, and the concerned functional head. Okay.
Mm.
Let's say I get some people in that box of high performance, high potential, and also the other box like where people have been performing very well but have the limited
Yeah.
potential, and then we make the function wise list.
Yeah.
So we have used to have the meeting with that functional head, myself and the head of the organization, and then we used to look at like who all of the people among these have the potential really to grow further. Okay, there used to be a discussion, and
Mm-hmm.
after that discussion, like then you come to the conclusion rather. Okay, or you have some broad categories like
Yeah.
the potential employees also we used to classify as up and cross. Okay, what I mean by
Okay.
up and cross potential is that the person has the potential to grow not only within his function but also in other functions.
Okay.
Okay, the
Wow.
second category is up potentials. Okay, that means what the person has the potential, but he can grow only in his function. For
Awesome.
example, there is a production manager, he can grow only in operations. Right.
Right.
There is a finance manager, he can grow only in operations, in finance. Say. So
Mm-hmm.
this is second category of up potential, and the third one is the professional potentials. That
Wow.
means okay, they are good in that function, but then they can be moved to the other job in the same function at the same level.
Mm. Same level.
This is again like between the discussion between these three. Okay, then we used to have the development centers. Like I'm sure like many of the participants must have heard of the development centers or the assessment centers.
Wow. Wow.
So we used to conduct these assessment centers, the development centers through a very well known HR firm. Okay.
Firm. Okay.
Yeah, I would not like to name the firm here now.
Yeah.
Uh, so we used to conduct, and it's a day-long exercise. Okay,
Mm.
where, like all the it's a real-life simulation, like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and the participants are put through those simulations, and then there are independent assessors who observe, right?
Yeah.
And they are not from the company, right? They are outsiders, right? Completely outsiders. So they give
Yeah.
completely different perspective,
Yeah. There is no
right?
bias. Yeah.
Yeah.
Impartial. Completely. Yeah.
Okay, completely impartial perspective they give. And based on those development center results, then we used to confirm the, like, the person has real potential or not. And once we have the list of the final potentials, then we used to have the management development program for these people.
Mm.
And this is in three modules. Okay, this is in three modules, each module focusing on a specific competency cluster, right?
Mm.
So it's a year-long program in three modules as such. Okay, so the management development, and then the next step is like, okay, we used to look at the different positions in the organization, and who could be considered amongst this list as a short-term successor, long-term successor, or a future successor, right?
Wow.
So short-term successor is like the person or the employee is ready to take over the position in next 1 year,
1 year.
right? Long term is like the person is ready to take over the position in next 3 5 years because he needs certain development. And the future potential are the youngsters actually who see in whom we see the spark, and they need to be developed over a period of time. Okay. So then this succession planning exercise is complete, and this needs to be continuously monitored, continuously reviewed. Okay. And the key is like involving all these stakeholders in the organization. Because any HR
Mm.
program, I believe that, unless you involve all the stakeholders, it just cannot be successful.
Can't be successful.
So
Mm.
this is what is the succession planning.
Beautiful, beautiful. I will just take a pause here, sir. Beautiful. So, on behalf of many people who are going to watch this video, I just wanted to ask a couple of queries. Suppose an organization wants to implement succession planning the way you explained, how long a time they are going to require? They can do it.
Well, as I said, I mean, it cannot be done overnight, or it
Yeah.
cannot be done in a short period of time, right?
Yeah.
So it takes minimum, let's say, about 3 to 5 years
Good
to have a good succession planning process.
process
And
in place.
at the back end, you need to do a lot of other things actually. Okay,
Mm.
because like you need to continuously ensure the intake of qualified people, right, in the company,
Mm.
and that too at the entry level. So it starts with the campus interviews, like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
having the graduate engineer trainees, having the focus
Right.
training program for the graduate engineer trainees, right?
Right.
Identifying the potential amongst them, putting them in the proper position, developing them so that they could be your successors in the future. And I'm really again very happy to say that, okay, almost 80% of the managers in the company are grown from within. Right? So, but if you implement this process, or if you take this process seriously over a period of time, then only it can happen. So it's
Absolutely.
again,
Absolutely.
it's a lot of hard work, I would say. So
A lot of hard work. Again, it takes me back to the time management thing which you spoke about, because constantly you have to keep on setting up practice because these important things will keep on coming. And amazing. Sir, would you like to share something on employee engagement, which is another topic on which everybody talks about, but yeah,
sure,
how to do
sure.
it? Yeah.
Now, when we talk about the employee engagement, we talk basically about the three factors. Okay. So one is say factor. Hmm. So how your employees consistently talk positive things about the company. Okay. That means like if someone is asking you about the company, you are saying, no, it's a great company. I'm working with a great company and I really enjoy working here. Right. So this is a say factor. Hmm. So I talk great things about the company and I really like to be associated with the company.
Yeah.
The second factor is the stay factor. Okay.
Ah.
I may talk great things about the company, but then I may not stay with the company for a longer period of time because the company is great, but the kind of work I'm doing, I'm not really enjoying that work. or the kind of manager I'm working with. I mean, I'm not really enjoying
Right.
working with that manager, and there could be many things actually.
Right.
I may talk great thing about the company, but I may not like to stay with the company for a longer period of
Yeah.
time. That's a stay factor. The third factor is the serve factor. Okay, so you may talk great things about the company. You may have the desire to stay with the company for a longer period, but whether you're giving your 100% to the company, whether you have
Mm.
a desire to give 100% of the to the company, that means whether you are enjoying your job, whether you are properly taken care of in terms of compensation and benefits, in terms of your growth opportunities, do you see your future with the company, and so on.
Mm.
So this say, stay, and serve, these three factors are very, very important when we talk about the employee engagement. And therefore, like the very important thing, step or rather step to start with is like one has to conduct the employee engagement survey.
Mm.
Not
Mm.
only once, you need to repeat this survey like after every 3 years, after
Every
every
3 years.
okay. So like once
Mm.
you get the employee, now I'm talking about again the further hard work, I would say, like which you and your team needs to put in. So once you get the survey results, the engagement results, again, typically in a multi-locational company, you will get a different result, you know, for the company as a whole. The company as a whole might have scored very well, but at a
Yeah.
particular location, the score may be bad
That,
or may
yeah.
not be good. Or at a particular location, again, the score may be good, but in a particular function in a particular location, score may not be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there could be many aspects actually. So you get a very detailed report. The
Mm.
first and foremost thing is like, communicate to the employees about the result as you have received it. Okay.
Mm.
And by involving all the relevant people, when I talk about, let's say, like all your plant managers, all your functional managers, all your other
Mm.
leaders working in the company and all that.
Yeah.
So if I get a result about my location, I need to go and present to my people. Okay, so this is what it is.
Yeah.
Then the next step is like, okay, you need to form the cross-functional teams. Fine. I mean, this
Mm.
is the result. These are the areas of strength, and these are the areas of the improvement. Right? The areas of the strength you need to retain. Areas of improvement you really need to work on. So once you work out on the areas of improvement, then you form the cross-functional teams. They would go into each and every area of improvement, and they would come out with the action plan. Now, the
Yeah.
action plan could be of two types. The actions could be involving the financial implications,
Yeah.
and some actions may not be involving the financial implication.
Mm.
Prioritizing that action plan, you cannot do everything in a year. So you need,
Yeah.
yeah, so you
Yeah.
need to have the action plan for next 3 years. HR plays a very important role in this. Okay,
Mm.
ensuring that the results are communicated, ensuring that the cross-functional teams are formed, ensuring that the cross-functional teams are given sufficient time to brainstorm, discuss, come out with the action plan, right? Then after we get all these action plans, then you need to present it to the location management teams, the company management teams.
Great.
So yeah, once you finalize on these action plans, then you need to present this action plan to the management team, right? So the management team would give their comments on the action plan, and once the action plans at the company level are finalized, location level are finalized, you need to go back and communicate to the people, saying that okay, this is the feedback what we received, this is what we have done on this is what we feel we need to do to improve the employee engagement, right?
Right. Right. Right.
uh, and this is what like we plan to do year wise,
Wow.
right? And this again needs to be communicated by the concerned locational head. HR head has to be with him all the time, right?
Yeah.
And but the location head or the concerned functional head needs to own this action plan,
Mm.
which is
Okay.
very, very important. It's not the HR initiative, it's the organizational initiative.
Organizational
I mean,
initiative.
the way you need to project the entire thing, and actually it is the organizational initiative. And
Mm-hmm.
in fact, we have gone through this process not only once, twice, thrice, actually. Okay.
Wow.
And
Wow.
like progressively, we improved the employee engagement score actually from let's say 54% to almost about 77%. So when you have the score of more than 76%, your company is in a top engagement zone kind of. Okay.
Hmm.
It's a hard work of again 6 7 years. You need to
Yeah.
do the things consistently. Along with the hard work, you need to have a lot of consistency in this. And here the support or the backing from the head of the organization also is very very important.
Yeah. This
So
is very interesting, sir.
yeah, it's quite. I mean, it's related to each other. I would say. I mean, when you have the employee engagement, the you do very well in the business. Okay.
Yeah,
And when you do the very well in the business, your employee engagement also is very good. Because
yeah, yeah,
when your business is growing, like you make
yeah.
more money and then you are in a position to do many things for the people.
No,
Right.
this is very, very important. So I think we all know that success or happiness or attaining anything which is worthwhile is all about not caring for short-term gratifications, but looking for things which will take time. But these are the real achievements. And I think the way you narrated both the initiatives is all about keeping a long-term or mid-term time horizon in mind, which is very important. So, do you also get a feeling that in the course of your career, you actually worked under people who had this long-term vision in mind, which might have, of course, made it a little easy for you, of course. So, would you like to say something on this? Yeah.
So I would not like to take the names here. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, but then definitely, the managing directors play a very, very important role, or the head of the organizations, they play a very important role in supporting this kind of initiatives,
Mhm.
right? Because you may have a lot of things to, you may plan number of things, that you would like to do and all that, but finally selling that to the management team,
Mm,
and in fact,
mm,
the
mm.
head of the organization supporting that uh,
Yeah,
is very, very important. And the managing director or the head of the organization himself having a long-term vision is also very important. So I
also important.
definitely, I fortunately had very good leaders with whom I worked,
Hmm, 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 hmm.
and they really supported actually. So
This is awesome. No, I think the full credit goes to you and your team, sir, the way you led all these initiatives. But I also have seen that having that kind of ecosystem actually makes it much more productive,
it's
which is great.
I mean,
Uh,
it like uh, it depends on both. I mean, if like you believe in the organization and
yeah,
the organization supports you, then you are in a position to take these initiatives. But
yeah,
in like your team also has to do quite a few things actually to come to the expectations.
yeah. Very nice. Sir, actually, for some technical thing, I'm not able to change the background, so that's the reason I was stuck with one background. I had got some pictures which I'm going to share here. So
Okay.
some of the pictures of KSB team going to Garud Machi on some team outbound team bonding events. So
Okay.
of course we all know that outbound is very important, and apart from that, inbound is also important. I think we already have some discussion on inbound things which are very important, which are long term. But having said that, would you love to share something on outbound, some of these programs which you led for the
Yes.
people? Yeah,
Certainly, outbound programs are very, and like I talked about, the work-life balance or the healthy lifestyle, and healthy lifestyle comes from the work-life balance,
yeah,
right? And therefore, this was one of the action points from, or this came from the feedback what we received through the employee
yeah,
engagement also, that we are too much internally focused, and we are, like too much of work focused, and then all of that. So then we said, okay, I mean, why not? We should look at the other things actually. And initially, we started having the sports tournaments. Okay, we reserved the sports facility in the city, like every location where we have our presence. Uh, then we started celebrating the birthdays of the people, and not like, okay, so like how we had standardized on that was like in a month, all like whoever has the birthday in a particular month, like all those birthdays will celebrate in that particular month on one day, right? Okay. So it started with birthday celebration, different festival celebrations within the company, like Women Day, and so many things.
Yeah.
And then we said, okay, we every department should have one outbound program at least in a year. Okay,
Wow.
right. And
Wow.
then we started the initiative and we made the budget also available.
Wow. Wow. And sir,
And
also, yeah, go on, sir, please.
employees really like that idea.
Hmm.
It used to be on Sundays, but then people were more than willing to travel on Sundays and be with their colleagues and then have fun. So,
Hmm.
another thing here, what I would like to say that okay, we used to have the sports and cultural calendar for every location.
Wow.
Okay, that means what? There has to be minimum one event every month at every location.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, so you may have the Dasara celebration, you may have Diwali celebration, or you may have, like Women's Day, or you may have the chess tournament, or like whatever. But there has to be one event
One
taking place
celebration.
every month at every location. And
Wow.
that was like one of the KPIs for all our HR managers, right?
Wow. So
So,
nicely done. Yeah. Calendarization is very important. Also, I saw, sir, as a part of these outbound things, I also saw that you also engage people in some of these CSR things, like some people are cleaning,
yes,
kind of all these things in
right,
some village areas.
right,
Yeah. So I also see that, of course, this is another picture which I saw. I put it while editing.
right,
So, people are going and doing some cleaning work. Because I also look at people talk about corporate social responsibility and all that, but I think this could be some of the best engagement
right,
occasions also, because there are some people who actually want to do some of these things. They want to
correct,
volunteer,
correct,
which is awesome. Sir, actually, I would have loved to request you to share one or two other incidents from employee relations perspective, but I can see that already we have crossed the time limit. So
okay,
maybe I'll request you to have, if you can join me for some other conversation,
sure,
part two, in which we
sure,
can talk a little about employee relations.
sure,
Currently, sir, I've got a couple of things which I ask many senior mentors, sir. So, would you like to share? Of course, you have shared one book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, Leaders. Would you like to share some more books or some videos or something or movies which you might have found very enjoyable, very inspiring for
okay.
the benefit of people?
Now, okay, another book which I was impressed. Of course, there are many books, and
Yeah.
I see like many books in the background. And
No, no, actually, I'm not able to change the background, so they're stuck there.
right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm inspired by many books. Of course, I'll not talk about the HR subject books as such, but the other books like one you said that the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
Second book is the Ikigai, right?
Uh,
Yeah. Okay, so one has to like the essence of that is like one has to find the reason to jump out of bed every morning, right? And therefore you need to find the reason as to what will make you jump out of your bed every morning, and then you need to be in that flow where you will get the maximum enjoyment. Okay, where you will really enjoy doing that particular activity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, these are the things which are really important. One
Very
is like
important.
finding out what you really want to do, what you really like to do.
Yeah.
Secondly, like doing it in a right way, which,
Very nice. Very nice. Very important, sir. Actually, I had attended a program based on which I have been doing this program for many people. That is vision exercise, discover your vision exercise, which is similar to Ikigai.
correct, correct.
Ikigai book came later on. Before that, somebody had inspired me to, work on purpose, finding our purpose, our vision, our core values, our goals, some of these things, and which are the things which we love doing and talents and the things which people talk about. And I think I found that once people spend some time, it won't be more than maybe one day, maybe 8 hours or 6 hours is good enough. But once we spend some time while thinking about ourselves, I think because normally people look outside, they do not look inside within. I think it could be magical. It could be hugely transformational
True,
experience. And I
true.
think that's what Ikigai is talking about. Sir, we are coming to the end of this conversation. Part one, of course, we'll have some more conversations because I think there are so many things which we can learn from you, sir. Sir, if we, this is a signature question which I ask people. If we write a book on your life and journey so far, sir, what do you think could be the title of the book, sir?
First of all, I am too small a person actually, to write a book on my life, sort of. Okay. So whatever I could accomplish, okay, I'm definitely proud of. Uh, And okay, I plan to write the book, but then not on my life as such. Okay, so some of the
No, no.
experiences as such.
We'll
Uh,
discuss offline, sir, because I know there
right.
are many books within you, sir. There are many books. You said it very humbly, sir, because I know there are many books. There are books on employee relations and a lot of other topics. And sir, one thing which you said, and with which we have started this conversation, audience is very clear that we are talking to sir, who actually, for whom there is no gap between saying and doing. Because sir spoke about the power of and the steps of building a team. And I've got personal experience, because I worked with Kiran Kumar Chaudhary, who was one of my team members, and today he is general manager employee relations in Piaggio in Baramati. And I could see that while working with him, I could sense the same level of discipline, time management, which you spoke about. And I think this is the best testimony, sir. This is the best example. Of course, you do not require any testimony, but this is the best example to me, of the belief that I'm talking to somebody who actually does and says, I think there is no gap. Sir, it's an amazing experience for me to talking to you, sir. And it's a pleasure for, I'm pretty sure, the audience to listen to these thoughts, because I think this is one of the most insightful conversations which I have ever had. It's all about to the point, action points. And I'm pretty sure that if people just follow maybe 20, 25, 30%, whatever portion of this conversation, by implementing things, they are going to see transformations. Thank you so much, sir, for your time on this Sunday. And I look forward to have another conversation with you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks, Arun. It was pleasure for me actually, and it really helped me to reflect. Like whatever I have been doing actually for last so many years. So thank you very much, and I would definitely look forward to, many such conversations. Thank you, Arun.
Thank you, sir. Yes, I think there is one conversation which you have got, which you are yet to have, and that is on while reflecting back on your journey before you came to corporate, because that's one portion which we couldn't cover, and certainly the employee relations portion, which is
Right,
very important.
right.
So I think, especially while talking to you, I know there are a lot of things which we can learn.
Sure.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a great Sunday afternoon, sir.
Thank you, Arun.